This is indeed an exciting month for us on BizToday. August is Women's Month, so we're commemorating with some of the best guests we've found and brought them into studio to share their stories. We've got successful entrepreneurs. We've just had a very successful entrepreneur. You've heard her story in studio. Now we've got a representative from the Umhlanga Women Achievers organization. And why we're doing this is to get representatives of various women's organizations in the studio to tell you about their service offering and why it's important for aspiring female entrepreneurs particularly to join these kind of networking groups. So the Umhlanga Women Achievers was founded in 1994. As the organization is a non-profit, they have committed to performing monthly random acts of kindness throughout the year for various charities. In 1995, when Helene Griffiths was president, the organization adopted the slogan, "To grow together through networking, sharing and enthusiasm for the club." So to speak more about the Umhlanga Women Achievers Club, we have Jeanne Vogel from Sandt, and she will tell us a bit more about the organization. Welcome to BizToday. It's very lovely to have you in studio.
Thank you. It's only my pleasure, my privilege. Thank you.
I'm glad you joined us. I know it's always wonderful to get people from the various organizations who are doing fantastic work to bring people together. It's not always easy to bring people together. So that's wonderful. But let's kick off by asking you first to tell us a bit about yourself and your business.
Me, myself and I'm Jeanne. As I've said, I sound like a networking introduction. Jeanne, I have my own attorney's practice. I have been doing my own work for the last 11 years.
11 years?
11 years, and I've been in law for, I counted, 17 years. And my speciality is mediation, but specifically mediation in family-related matters. So my, what would you call it, claim to fame is that I've done, and it's going to sound very sad, but more than 100 divorces, of which none of them have gone to court, in the sense that someone had to get in the box and give evidence, but in the sense that I was managing to get these parents to come to a solution that works for them and their children, and no other independent body had to get involved to make decisions about their children's futures.
That's just incredible in and of itself. I mean, I suppose it would be a success for them not to have gone to court, if that makes sense. But also, you know, that statistic is sad in a way.
It's extremely sad. It's extremely sad, and it's getting closer and closer to home with families and friends around us that's going through the process. But to know that you've empowered them to keep the relationship on a level where they can still communicate with each other, and because what we as parents model, our children will be modeling in their relationships one day as well. And that always remains my approach. Is it in the best interest of the children?
Yeah.
So that's always my focus, and it seems to work. The people that have been through my office come back for getting married again, and then I help them with the process again.
Incredible. Wow. That's a diversified service offering, which is great, I think.
Long-lasting relationship.
But you know, I'm glad you shared that with us, and thank you, because we've also talked quite a lot on the show today about managing families, a role of parents to their kids, and especially when you yourself are building something like a business. So that I think is very important and something we can keep in our minds for future reference. But Jeanne, today you're representing the Umhlanga Women Achievers organization. What is the organization about?
It is a networking club, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
Started by a group of ladies headed up by Helene Griffiths in 1994. They were all the little business owners in the village of Umhlanga at that time.
Birth of democracy.
Literally, and I always say they started the gold pots of Umhlanga 21 years ago now. And those ladies got together as friends. They made lasting friendships. They still are the best of friends today when you see them together. They're still part of the group, but where it comes from is they got together to build each other's businesses and to be support for each other. It started off from a business point of view to become friends. And it's just grown from there. We are currently, our constitution, big words, only allows 125 members. We are at 125 members at this stage, with quite a few ladies waiting on the waiting list in the wings. So we are just overwhelmed with the interest. And we get together on a monthly basis. 1 month would be evening meeting, 1 month would be a morning meeting. We get interesting speakers varying from people talking about sexual relationship to credit card fraud. We had Kingsley Holgate the other day that we helped with a huge rhino drive.
He's an incredible human being. That must have been amazing.
Meeting Father Christmas. He is just my favorite. And we have just been growing from strength to strength to strength, and
How did you get engaged with the organization?
I learned when I went on my own, in the sense that my practice, I started up on my own, I realized that I don't have anything to sell, anything tangible, so I only have myself to sell. And for that reason, I realized I need to network with people. There are many networking organizations out there. Met a friend and she invited me to a dinner with Umhlanga Women Achievers.
As a person who runs a service-based business, you realize that the ability for you to position yourself or brand yourself was massively different from running a product-based business, where there's a certain idea around a product, you brand it, but to be able to build a personal brand is slightly more difficult, I think.
It's very different because you need to get the people first of all to trust you,
of course.
And then once they've given you their trust, then they will refer you to other people, and that's the power of networking. So I always explain to someone, it's not the few people around the table that you're networking with, it's everybody else that they know. So that's the power of networking. So back to how I got involved with Umhlanga Women Achievers, it was a special friend that invited me to this dinner.
Right.
I must have been by far 35 years younger than everybody else around the table. To give you an idea of the wisdom of all these ladies that started up Umhlanga Women Achievers, and I felt like I'm not worthy. It was just, but I really immediately realized that, Jeanne, you need to get involved here and you need to stick to these ladies because they know so much about business. And today I am the president of Umhlanga Women Achievers, and I am so thrilled, and I've been blessed in every way that I've not even remotely could have thought.
I actually said representative because the media report, I think, named someone else as the president, and I didn't know that you were the president, which is incredible. Wonderful achievement. Was this a recent promotion?
Every year we have a committee meeting and a new election, and I took over from the famous Alice Leah in, I think it was in early February. I took over from her.
Congratulations. It's incredible. So to run this type of organization, which you initially went into, and had a certain nervousness about it, because I also often find that when, I try not to, but you can't help but be overwhelmed sometimes by the intellectual capacity or capability of walking into a room of people who are invested in the same kind of vision. And you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, what value do I have to offer? But little realizing you do have a lot of value. So it was important for you to have realized your value at that point, right?
Oh, definitely, yeah. So now I joined in 2010, so we're 5 years later, and it's just phenomenal how the club has grown and what it's giving back to the community.
Incredible. What are the core, the best person to ask this, of course, for the organization, the core goals of the organization? What do you want to achieve?
The core goals is probably in our slogan that you just quoted a little bit ago, that I can't always remember off the top of my head, but it's growing together through networking, friendships and enthusiasm. So I think the platform allows everybody from the high-flying corporate, because we have all sorts of ladies that attend, the high-flying corporate to the mommy that stays at home, that also joins us, to the retired lady that is now the social butterfly and finally can just spread her wings and just be whoever she wants to be. So we have ladies from every sphere of life. We literally have from plastic surgeons to ophthalmologists to plastic surgeons, lots of Botox. We have, what else is there? There's ladies that make fudge and have just been phenomenal in that. There's ladies that travel agents, estate agents. What else is there? It's just, you name it, we probably have it. And it's just great. And then the social butterflies, the wise ladies, I call them. The social butterflies, the wise ladies, because they have just all the experience, yes.
That's incredible to hear that your members are that varied. Because I think a real fear for a lot of young entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, people who've worked in a job for their entire life and then decide, I want to start a business, a home-based business. I may not be good enough to fit with a more high flyer, a more corporate type woman. And so it's good that you have created a space that will is all encompassing.
Absolutely.
So that's great, because then you're encouraging the growth and the spirit of entrepreneurship, especially in this environment.
Especially, I always say to friends of mine in the same in the legal fraternity, if you want to call it that, and even my husband, who's also a professional, I said, we were brought up with this idea that you have to go to school, you have to go to university, and you learn to become a doctor, accountant, an engineer, or a plumber, or a whatever, and that's what you're going to be for the rest of your life. But I'm so jealous of these young ladies and older ladies for that matter that just come to this point and say, you know what, I don't need and want to be this or this anymore. I want to become a florist. I want to become a dressmaker. I want to become the best cake baker. And those are the real achievers when you ask me, because I think it takes so much guts to go out there, get that gap in the market and just make it grow from there, because wow, I've got the ability, I've got the push, I've got the drive, and make it work. And in a club like Umhlanga Women Achievers, the ladies get a chance to promote their businesses. They all stand up and they say, I'm Susie and I bake the best muffins, and if you want some, come and buy them from me. And everybody storms to Susie and buys the muffins, because they know you would not bring inferior muffins to Umhlanga Women Achievers.
Of course.
But yes, it just gives everybody a platform, and we are amazed sometimes to see what some people actually bring. There's a lady that paints piggy banks. They're like this big, and she zhuzhes them up like gold, diamond, Swarovskis, you name it. These piggies come
blinged up.
And she's actually a chopper pilot. This is just her little hobby at home. So that is her contribution towards Umhlanga Achievements, and it gives her the opportunity to live out this artistic side of her. So there's, yes.
It's incredible to know.
You'll have to come and join us.
I absolutely will. Now that I know I'm in the area and the vicinity, we've got to do that. So, Jeanne, I want to know, what are some of the activities that Umhlanga Women Achievers offers for the members?
The activities is our monthly meetings. That's the important thing. So that's one month is the evening meeting, the other month is a morning meeting. We get involved in charities. So we choose a charity for the month. We do a random act of kindness, and then we go back to the charity after the meeting. We get involved in whatever their need is. For example, we get the members actively involved in every meeting, like I said, where they get to stand up and introduce themselves. They have the opportunity to sell their goods at the meetings. They book a table and they sell their wares there. So it's quite interactive, and we other services that we or what do you call it, activities we get them involved is at the end of the year we have a really big charity function. So that's where they really get hands-on involved and get down to business. Fantastic.
Now you're servicing the Umhlanga area. It seems so, but are you wanting to?
Not really.
Not really?
No, that's where it all started. It's where it all started. But we've got members from the other side of Pietermaritzburg, further than Ballito, and further than probably Port Shepstone. So it's ladies are coming from everywhere to join us, which means that our wings are much farther than that. And with social media, our Facebook and the websites and everything, everybody can see what we're up to, and it's amazing how many men actually like our Facebook page. So
well, it would be for obvious reasons, I would think.
I think they're just keeping tabs on their women, but who knows?
Of course, I would think so. I mean,
what are they doing at those meetings that the men so desperately want to join in?
That's for sure. But it's just, I'm really excited by the Umhlanga Women Achievers Club. I know that a lot of younger entrepreneurs may see it as an old women's club, like you have old boys club. And we want to take, I'm sure you want to take away that perception, am I right?
Yes, well, I was rather intimidated when I joined so long ago. But now I think with the way that the club has grown just over the last year and a half, I think that perception has gone. I think the only thing that's limiting us now is our numbers. So we'll have to see how we can change it, that we have more members.
I know we talked about this earlier in the interview, but can you take us through again the types of female leaders you have in the organization? So we know that when we come in, we can partner with them as for mentorship or whatever it is.
Oh, absolutely. I would think the really high achievers would be, and do you want me to name names or just?
Of course, it's always nice to know.
Yes, I think I forgot to answer your question in full, Nana. We do have an annual competition which we call the Umhlanga Women Achiever. And for that, the ladies submit their application forms with their whole portfolio of what they've done through the year, where they've been involved, charities, accolades, and all those things, and then we choose an achiever for the year. And our achiever for last year was Tasha Jardim from Tasha's Fantastic Fudge. And Tasha has been phenomenal, and she's actually received an international award from Action Coach that she received about 2 months ago. She went overseas and she got the award there. We've had Louisa Garland-Els, that's with Imperial Armour. She supplies all the security companies, the police, all those guys with a bulletproof vest. She's been recognised internationally. We have Alice Leah from Mum's Mail, that's just phenomenal in everything that she attacks. We have ladies that supply all the hospitals with a green kit that the doctors wear when they're going to surgery. So those are the big things, if you want to call it. But then we have the ladies that have the travel agents. We have the ladies that have small businesses where they go and stand in the queue for you for home affairs. They get your car license renewed and they buy cat food for you. So those are really special ladies. We've got ladies that sell dog foods. We have image consultants. We have hairdressers. We have, let me think, ladies that do nails. Like I said, you name it, we probably have
the whole spectrum of
whole spectrum, from builders to gardeners to everything is there.
Wonderful. I like that mix of people because then it also reinforces the fact that entrepreneurship grows in any kind of space but with the right spirit, right? So I want to know now why you're the president of the Umhlanga Women Achievers organization. You've built your way through this organization. You went in there with a specific purpose. You're best placed to tell us why it's important for a young female, any age female, whoever's involved in business, to go and join an all-woman club, so to speak, or a female organization dedicated to entrepreneurship. What value will it add to my life?
Self-confidence, first of all. You can literally see there are some of the ladies that would have joined last year. There's one lady specifically that I have in mind. And you stand up and you introduce yourself and you have like your 30-second slot to say, I'm Jeanne, I'm an attorney, and this is my office. And this girl stood up and she was like, I'm just here and I don't know what to say. And now, a year later, she stands up with a bigger shoulders and she says, I'm so-and-so and this is what I do. And you just want to applaud her because you can see it's from nowhere else but for joining a networking group that has given her that self-confidence. So that's phenomenal to see. Then the friendships that you build through networking is just irreplaceable and no money can ever buy that. The contacts that you make through the business and just being allowed to think out of the box, because sometimes you're so stuck in your rut and then we have a phenomenal speaker and you realize, oh wow, I didn't know we can do it that way, or I'm allowed to do it that way. And people are not intimidated to ask stupid questions. They might think it's stupid. So in a platform like that, it really allows you to just strengthen yourself. If it's only about you coming to networking, that's also right, because your cup gets filled there with lots of adrenaline. You go out there on a mini high. So that's fantastic. But to give back, the giving back is much more rewarding than just being there for yourself. And that's where the power of it lies. And you keep on coming back because you get that what do you call it? Power injection every time that you've joined us.
That's I like that you said that, because people don't realize this. You know, you have these home-based entrepreneurs, and they're sitting in the space all the time, a space they've dedicated at home, and going through these challenges. And it's a difficult client. It's having a difficult conversation with the client, talking to a supplier, trying to find enough cash so that you can, manage your cash flow, meeting those payments. And every time you look at those challenges, you're faced with it. You're pummeled by your daily entrepreneurial activities. You sometimes feel so alone that you feel like you're the only one going through those challenges. And that's actually not true. Because there are so many other people experiencing
so many of us out
the same thing.
Absolutely.
Which is then the power of networking, because we're not independent entirely, we're interdependent. Absolutely. So it makes sense that we'd gather the same watering hole to be able to share our stories and connect and feed off one another, so to speak. So I feel like that's what the Umhlanga Women Achievers organization has been doing for the past 21 years, as I'm sure many other organizations are, but particularly you have a certain vision and you're running with that.
Very spoiled, yeah, and very privileged, absolutely.
Future plans for the organization?
Sure. We'll have to work on that constitution, I think, to get more ladies involved.
I think so.
But then at the same time, maybe we need to keep it exclusive, I don't know. We'll have to have a vote on that.
I suppose, yeah.
Yes, but future plans, the immediate future plans is our annual award, the Umhlanga Women Achiever. We have another big charity drive at the end of the year. And then for the future, I think we need to work really hard on maintaining the relationships that we do have at this point.
Right.
And really build the relationships. And when you said, Nana, you mentioned the word mentor, and maybe that's something that we really need to concentrate on. We have that wealth of information and knowledge that those ladies have. We should share that more.
Wonderful. I'm so pleased that you accepted our invitation to come into BizToday and share the knowledge and the workings behind an organization like Umhlanga Women Achievers. Because I think a lot of people also look at organizations and wonder, number one, maybe they know the value of it, but number two, will I be able to fit into that? So I think you've taken us quite nicely through the workings of such an organization.
Yeah, no, it's my real privilege and my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. We've been speaking with Jeanne Vogel van Sandt, the president of Umhlanga Women Achievers organization. As you know, Women's Month is this August, and we're all about commemorating female founders and experts. And that's why we'll be featuring or profiling a lot of the ladies who are doing it for themselves in this beautiful country of South Africa. I can't think of a better place to start a business. When we come back, we'll be looking at your diary of events. Okay, so I hope that you have your diary in front of you so that you can update your latest diaries and get your networking game going. Now, the Business Entrepreneurship and Franchise Expo, owned and managed by Trevor Reed Exhibitions, takes place from the 10th to the 13th of September 2015 at the Ticket Pro Dome in Johannesburg. If you've got friends in Johannesburg or you're there, please go and check it out. Together with Platinum partner and sponsor, the Eskom Foundation, the expo will include opportunities for big businesses to network with potential partners and discover high-level business and franchise opportunities, seek advice and explore business services to support business growth. And it also offers a platform for young entrepreneurs to learn, network, and enter business competitions, which is fantastic. So for more information on the Business Entrepreneurship and Franchise Expo, you can email info@beefe.co.za. That's not beef. It's actually beefe.co.za. So it's info@beefe.co.za or visit www.info.beefe.co.za. That's beefe.co.za. Next up, IT Management Symposium is happening only next year. So isn't that wonderful? You can tick the diary off for next year already. It's happening February 2016 at the Vodacom World Midrand. It will address the new application economy and how it is changing the face of business. Do you want more information? Go to itweb.co.za to attend. It's free to attend actually, and you can register there, but please register now because I know tickets are going to get going very fast. And also, apart from our events diary, it's often nice to know about the new initiative or online resources that you can access as an entrepreneur to make sure that you are all consistently learning, and also you have access to other people who are also in the same type of business. So visit realsuccess.net. It's also commonly known as entrepreneur.co.za. You can sign up for a daily webinar. They host a variety of people to talk about various issues facing entrepreneurs. Now, they often have a webinar every morning. So if you want to get a daily dose of inspiration and also just something to fix your mind and, to focus, to help you to focus, then that's a great space to start. It's a good group of people. That's realsuccess.net. Get on there and sign up for their free webinars daily. Then one of my personal favorites is #OnTopChat. Every Thursday between 8 and 9 p.m. So do this. You have a Twitter account. Go on, search #ENTREPCHAT OnTopChat. It's also an account. Follow it. And every Thursday between 8 and 9 p.m., you've got some of the best minds in the country who come together and have a conversation using that hashtag. You can follow the conversation. You can add your thoughts. There are many questions that are asked by OnTopChat, the account, and then you can follow that conversation and add your own voice and learn so much more in the process. You can also investigate. Now, this is different from OnTopChat, but in order for your online learnings, you can investigate Coursera and Udemy as free online learning platforms that are from the best institutions around the world. And they really make a world of difference to be able to go online and access these courses from leading universities around the world, which is absolutely free to obtain. So I hope that you've managed to get all the events information as well as these online learning resources at your disposal. Go and check them out. They're only for your benefit. Thanks once again for joining us in BizToday on this edition. We'll be back next week profiling yet another successful entrepreneur and taking learnings from the business topic of the day. For BizToday, I'm Nazareen Ebrahim. Goodbye.